back in New York. Today's a very exciting day because I'm going to view apartments in Brooklyn to hopefully move on February 1st. I'm gonna bring you guys with me. Just finished viewing the first apartment in Williamsburg, and it was really nice. I think you guys probably saw some of it from that video, but it's one room, and I feel like that is a little concerning. Even though like the bedroom has those glass doors, the closet was great. At the end of the day, it's one room, even though I love the like open space vibe. So it's hard. I don't know if I like fell in love with it, but I definitely really liked it, and the location is amazing. But now we're going to view 2 more apartments. Okay, so we just saw the other apartments. And basically on Street Easy, I saw this one and I was like, okay, this one looks insane, but it was like a little bit expensive. And then there was another unit in the building that it was cheaper and didn't look as good. But then when he showed it to us, the first one he showed us was like not the one I saw online. And I was like, oh, maybe the pictures were just off. And then he was like, oh, I'm showing you the other one. And the other one he showed us wasn't the smaller one. It was the same, I don't know. Basically, there was 2 big apartments, and I was under the impression that there was 1 big and 1 small. There's 2 big and 1 small. And the second big one we saw was insane. So we're gonna try and put in a deal. The layout was like a little funky on where you could put things, like dining, living, bedroom could all be in like different places. But it was insane, and I'd be very happy to live there.
What's this?
Vlogging.
Where did you watch it? Vlogger.
Okay, I'm going to unload the Trader Joe's groceries we just picked up and then tell you about my tips and tricks for finding an apartment in New York City, because this will now be my 4th move. I lived on 7th and 2nd in the East Village first, and then I lived on 12th and A, and then I've lived in this apartment for 2 years, which I'm not going to tell you the streets because I'm still going to be in it for a little. Cauliflower gnocchi. Always just good to have on hand if you get hungry and so easy to make. I make mine in the air fryer. This umami seasoning blender, like always sold out at Trader Joe's, and they have one, so we got it. Some almonds, lemon, onion. Gonna make a chili tonight. Well, I think James is, because I'm gonna visit my sister. Almond milk, rolled oats, so we can do overnight oats. My favorite sauce from there, and it's like so easy if you have like chicken and rice, which I got the frozen rice to heat up. Easiest dinner ever. I actually prefer the white rice to the brown rice. But anyways, I used a broker to find my first apartment here. Actually, one of my friends who I was moving in with used one, and the first apartment I lived in New York was actually so nice, and like not so nice, but it was huge. Like the living room was massive, like probably bigger than this whole apartment. My room was an actual shoebox, but the living room was so big. And I used a broker, his name is Hema, or my friend used him to find the apartment, and I can give you guys his information or put it in the description. He's great. He's been helping us look at these apartments. When I moved into my second apartment, he was helping me look for like find apartments too, but I also went on Street Easy and looked at like some on my own, and I ended up going with one I found on my own. And for this one, I actually found this one on Street Easy by myself. I had seen one other apartment before in the West Village, and I went and there was like 100 people there, and when I went to apply, they're like, someone came in way over asking. So I didn't get that. I viewed this one the next day. I was the only one who viewed it, and I finally got it. And then today, Hema has been sending us some, so we went and saw one from him, and then I also went and saw one that I found on Street Easy like 2 days ago when I was randomly just looking and contacted, and they were able to show me it today. It's a no-fee apartment, which is amazing, and really like that one. So I'm thinking I'm going to apply to it, and fingers crossed. Got some dough. TikTok has convinced me to try these steamed chicken soup dumplings. Some very unripe bananas, want to make smoothies. Mushrooms, frozen raspberries, a bunch of eggs. Back on my egg shit. Red peppers, chili for the chili, vegetable broth, frozen blueberries for smoothies, crushed tomatoes for the chili. Trader Joe's is cauliflower scents and they're really healthy. They're only 100 calories and it's like bread. Great for avocado toast. Turkey breast, ground turkey breast, and some organic chicken breast. Didn't go in with any meals in mind because I had to drop off film in the East Village and there's a Trader Joe's there in McFadin. I was like, let's just grab 2 bags. So the plan was to come up with meals and then go grocery shopping, but I wanted to go to Trader Joe's because it's cheaper, and so we winged it in there. We'll come up with stuff with what we have. So I have something to share with you guys about an apartment update. So we went to apply for the one that I was really excited about. And in between me applying, I'm checking my email. I had emailed my current building what I thought was 60 days before my move out. So I thought I was moving out the end of February. And so we were gonna get a February 1st move in and have a month to kind of sort our shit out and get over there. Because sometimes it is so stressful in New York. If you have a move out date that last day of the month and a move in the 1st, you have to get everything sorted in a day, which I've done it twice, I think. And like it's really difficult. Also, like sometimes buildings, like I've had buildings be like you can actually move until the 2nd or 3rd and then you have to put all your furniture in storage because it has to be out of your current one. So I just wanted to give us that ease, and we're gonna eat the double rent for that month, and we're sharing this one, so we've actually been like saving a lot of money the past few months by living in this one together. But anyways, my like landlord company emailed me and was like, your lease right now ends March 31st, so that's your move out date. And I was like, oh. So definitely not worth it for us to eat it for 2 months. It could have been if I found someone to maybe sublease it or like take over the lease who wanted to move out early, but I have hope that we'll find something just as good. Also, going into that apartment, it was like 1 month free on Street Easy, and for us to get it, we were gonna ask for 2 months free because it was a bit expensive for what I wanted to spend. I'm also like someone who's like, I don't want to spend all my money on rent. I understand why people do it, especially like, I'm quite cheap about certain things, and that's one thing where I'm like, I'm just not willing to put so much money into rent, because to me it really is like taking money and putting it straight into the trash can sometimes, even though I use my apartment to work from, I film in here and stuff. But I just like can't get behind spending a crazy amount on rent. Thankfully we're splitting it, so that like helps so much. But I know I could like be happy in something the size of this, and this apartment's like quite small. Even though I'm actually not super happy in here at the moment because it's tight and there's shit fucking everywhere. But yeah, so that was a huge misstep on my side. And yeah, so we're not moving February 1st, and we're not taking that apartment. It was a beautiful apartment. You know, I believe everything happens for a reason. Maybe something is wrong with it. But anyways, I want to give, like, someone DM me because I posted that I was going to do a YouTube series on moving, and they were like, I've seen a lot of New York City moving videos, but I feel like info about the following is lacking, like would love if you could cover. So I'm going to try and get into this. I've paid a broker fee, I think, on every apartment that I've moved into, and the ones that we viewed and told you guys about that I really liked had no fee. And you can see that on Street Easy if you find it yourself. In the little corner there'll be like a little like ribbon and it says like no fee apartment. I wouldn't say they're super common, but you can also search for only no fee apartments, because fees, the brokerage fees, can become really expensive. They can be anywhere from like 10 to 15%. I know people who've literally paid up to like $8,000 for a broker fee. It's crazy, but sometimes it's like unavoidable. I've like used a broker to help me show apartments that they have and they can view first, and like they think I'll like, and kind of do some of that like work for me. But then I'll also go on Street Easy, search myself, and like find it. And I've done that with two of this apartment and the last one I lived in, and like showed up. And even though I showed up here on my by myself, didn't use that broker, he was just the broker for the apartment, and I still had to pay it. Same with the last one. I showed up to the open house by myself, viewed it, and still had to pay a broker fee. And I think if you have your own broker and then you show up to an apartment that they're like isn't theirs, so like say I have, using my broker Hema, show up to an apartment and there's a broker already there, they split the broker fee. So you're not having to pay two, but they like split it half and half. I think that's how it works. Fees usually, like obviously like Wi-Fi and utilities usually is not included in rent. I also say like if you want to ask, like if it's out of your price range, like kind of get a feel for it. And if you like want to ask if there's 1 month free, maybe ask for two. If there's 0 months free, maybe ask for one. Come in $100 less than the rent. I mean, $100 isn't crazy, but it'll help in the long run. Like it could be $1,200 over the year. So I always say like go for it, and if they don't accept, then you can just take it back and be like, okay, I'll pay it if you really want it. Pricing to look for, what's absurd, what's a good deal, what's average, how to get a good deal. I have no idea. Like it completely depends. Studio, 1 bedroom, the area it's in, the building. If I will say like these crazy buildings in Brooklyn, like 1 South First, like a couple of the other ones, you're paying for the amenities because there's like a pool, a gym, they have like some places do your laundry. My big thing about moving this year is like I do not want to live in a big building. I don't want to live in like 420 Kent or 1 South First because I don't care about amenities. I've always really enjoyed being in like a really, like, not a really small building, but a small building. I don't need like a gym or a pool. I like to do my workout classes. Of course it would be nice, but I'd rather not spend the money to have amenities. And like I just hate the idea of getting in an elevator that goes to like 30 floors and you have like so many people in the building. I'd much rather find like an older, quaint building. And like maybe I don't know how many apartments. I think the one we viewed had 40 apartments total or something. Something that size is like way more desirable to me. I just like hate big buildings and don't want to be in one. The one I live in right now is like, I don't know, there's probably like 4 apartments per floor and only like 8 floors, maybe 10. Okay, what to look out for, scummy landlords. I don't know about scummy landlords, but insects or rodents, you can always ask. I mean, you can't ask if someone's a scummy landlord to their face. So you can always ask questions. So I'm going to tell you guys some of the questions that I always like go into asking. For me, I always ask about packages. You know, how are they received? Is there a package room? You'll know if there's a doorman. I've never lived in a doorman building, but like how packages are received, if it's safe, if they've ever had issues with it. Like mine right now, I don't have a doorman, but when they arrive, my super lives in the building and he puts them into this big locker or into our downstairs laundry unit, and it's like you have a key to get into that door. So like I've never had issues with packages here, where my last apartment I would get shit stolen all the time. So I always ask about that, you know, ask about any amenities, ask about the start date, ask if it's a 12-month lease. Sometimes they can get you and be like it's a 16th month lease, which you could be like, okay, then I want, you know, a few months free if I'm signing in for that long. Ask about heating, ask about air conditioning. You can ask to see, I think, the person who lived before you's like utility bill, or like ask how much they paid so you can get an idea of what you would have to pay. You can't really ask about neighbors. You can ask if it's pet friendly. Elevator or walk up is huge. It should be like probably the first question you ask if you're not on the first floor, which don't ever live on the first floor. I would not recommend that. It's not as safe and it will be probably loud as fuck. And rats. No, even if it's beautiful, I would probably never live on the first floor. Watch me find my dream apartment on the first floor. If you have a broker, they kind of like know everything and ask for you, but those are the main ones. Oh, and ask about washer and dryer. Like usually there could be one in the building. It's very rare you get one in unit here. My first one like did not live in that nice of an apartment, and my first one had it in my apartment, which was really nice. So always ask about that and like pricing for that, because right now I like pay for mine downstairs. When to start looking for apartments before I move, 1 month. I would say you're not going to be able to find something, or like you can't really look 2 months out. Usually stuff for the next month, so like say, okay, it's January right now. First 10 days of January, apartments will be released for February 1st. You can of course start looking before, but like a lot of places want someone to move in pretty quickly. Like it's quick process here, and if you like it, like take it off the market immediately and then put your application in, and like have everything ready to go, like your bank statements, copy of your photo ID, usually your credit score. If you have a guarantor, you need this for all of their information. And in New York, you have to make 40 times you have to prove that you make 40 times your rent. And if you have a guarantor, they have to prove that they make 80 times your rent, which is absurd. So just be ready for all that. You have to have your tax return from the year before, which is like a 1099 form, proof of payment for all of your past rent payment, or like 6 months of your past rent payments where you currently live. They want your landlord's number of your current place. So just have all of that ready to go when you start looking. Should you visit a certain amount of months before to check out apartments? If you're visiting, it's so hard. I would say, yeah, I'd probably visit a month before for like a week and start looking. And like be searching online just to get an idea of what you like. But there's no point coming out 4 months before and looking at apartments and, you know, seeing stuff you don't want, unless you're moving into one of those big buildings like 420 Kent South First. I don't know the ones in Manhattan, but like you could go. Sorry, my camera died. But I was saying, as one of those big buildings, you could go like look for you could go look at a unit in that building, because they could all be pretty similar. Like say you're looking for a 1 bed, go view another 1 bed in that apartment building. And then they can let you know if something opens up the month you're coming. How necessary is it to see an apartment in person with such a competitive market? You need to see it in person, or if you don't live in the city, if you have a friend that lives in the city or can come into the city and look at it for you, just to vet it, because pictures do not do these places justice. It will, no matter what, look smaller in person than it did in pictures in every case. So someone needs to see it in person. I just wouldn't trust it. I mean, unless you're like rich as fuck and spending like $10,000 on your apartment, and you know it's gonna be amazing no matter what. What to look out for or avoid in a lease? I think just like as long as you know like the terms and like the move-in date, the like length of the lease, and like they're not trying to sneak in like certain months. And oh, one thing I'll say, so say you get 1 month free or 2 months free, you need to make sure that they have that said somewhere, like early move-in, because say you get the first like month free, so say you're moving in, say your move-in date's February 1, but your first month's free, like they will have, sorry, that doesn't make sense. Say you're moving in January and you have a month free. They'll probably give you that month free and technically write your lease out starting Feb 1, and you'll pay the full price on Feb 1. And just make sure there's like an early move-in clause. And then sometimes with the 1 month free, so you have the rent and 1 month free. Most cases you'll get a free month, and then you'll have to pay the full rent the rest of the months. They won't do like net effective. So like obviously your rent is less because of that month free, but you're just getting the month free and paying the full price the other months, rather than the whole rent number going down and you paying all 12. I hope that makes sense, and I hope this helps. I know moving can be really, really stressful, and moving in New York is probably like the hardest place ever to move, and I know there's so many questions about it. If you have any other questions, please just put it in the comments and I'll try to address it in the next video. I'm going to keep vlogging this process, basically be starting over next month, so anything you want me to answer or show, let me know, because I'm really excited, and fingers crossed that I find an apartment that we are obsessed with. I'm moving in with my boyfriend, even though we kind of already live together here at the moment, but yeah, fingers crossed. I have hope that we will find a place that we really love. So I brought my vlog camera in to see Mad's hair.
Hi Mad's hair, we're here.
And everyone always asks me what I asked for when I went darker, so she's gonna tell you what to ask for because I let her go for it.
Let's do it. Here, put your little vlog camera there so we can see your hair in full right now. Oh, that was a little innovative, beauty. Alright, so basically when we first brought Ella darker, she wanted to do a root melt and some warm golden honey tones down at her ends. So what we did to keep her nice and bright in the front and to have a little connection throughout her ends is we popped her front with some lighter pieces. We added a little bit of a blend from Baby Lights right here, and then we glossed her with that same golden honey color. So we're gonna do that today,
and you'll see the end result. Cute. Also, it's Mad's hair on Instagram. She doesn't like to be DM'd, so how do you like to be contacted?
Oh my god, that's put me on the spot. You can definitely DM me if you talk to Ella specifically. I always accept referrals, so that's like your biggest way of coming. But we also have some really big news that I'm going to tell you on your vlog as first come first. We are opening up a salon in the Lower East Side right next to Rowing Blazers.
Yay! What?
So, April 1st. I know.
So exciting. Oh my god.
So we're gonna have a whole team that is gonna be trained under me. So if you can't get in with me, you'll get in with one of my stylists and we'll do some fun hair.
Yeah, yay. That's so exciting. do a little trim.
Little baby trim.
And maybe a little bit here. Not really short, but like a little bit.
Like a little contour.
Yeah.
Cute.
Final product.